Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Kat Zavis from Beit Kun with my musings on Parshat Korach. What makes a holy challenge? This week we read Parshat Korach, a portion that raises a powerful and deeply relevant question. What does it mean to challenge power in a holy way? How do we know if a confrontation is righteous or rooted in ego? Korach publicly challenges Moses and Aaron, saying, "It's too much. All the community is holy and Yud-He Vav-He is in our midst. Why do you elevate yourselves above us?" It sounds like a cry for equality, a demand for shared leadership. But Moses responds, "You are a Levite. You already have a sacred role. You serve in the tabernacle. You minister to the people. Why isn't that enough?" The rabbis say the problem wasn't the question itself. It was the intention behind it. Korach wasn't acting for the sake of heaven. His motivations weren't about justice. They were about envy and power. And that forces us to ask, how can we tell the difference? Was Moses trying to flatter Korach's ego by reminding him he was already chosen? Or was he actually saying something deeper? That every person in the community has a unique and holy role to play, and being a Levite was his. But is that the full story? What if Korach was saying something that needed to be said, even if he wasn't the right person to say it? Maybe he was expressing a truth others were afraid to speak. That holiness isn't limited to a few chosen leaders. We are all holy. None of us is more divine than another. That every person carries divine worth. So what does it mean to be holy? Leviticus tells us, "You shall be holy, for I, Yud-He Vav-He, your God, am holy. Sanctify yourselves and be holy." Holiness isn't about rank or proximity to power. It's not even inherited. It's earned through how we live, how we treat others, and how we honor the sacred. And in Deuteronomy, God warns the people, once you're comfortable in the land, you'll grow arrogant. You'll forget your obligations. You'll lose your way. That warning still echoes today. Could it be that Korach was right in principle, even if wrong in intent? Was he wrong, or was he just inconvenient? What if Korach wasn't the outlier, but the one voicing concerns that many others were too afraid to say out loud? We're taught that every person has a role in sustaining the community. So, was Korach's role to speak truth to power? And if we look around today at Jewish institutions and the Jewish establishment, we see how they often react to dissent. When Jews outside the mainstream question Israelis' policies, genocide in Gaza, ethnic cleansing in the West Bank, apartheid in Israel, we're called self-hating, anti-Semitic, dangerous. But maybe, just maybe, some of those voices are acting from a place of deep Torah. What if some of those voices are like Korach, not in ego, but in courage? What if they're calling us back to our highest values? Maybe that's the lesson of Korach. He may have been driven by pride, but he also raised questions worth asking. And maybe that's the point, that when we forget the essence of our tradition, when power replaces purpose, when power goes unquestioned, holiness erodes. We need people who are brave enough to ask hard questions, to challenge, to name injustice, to act and speak in holy ways. Because when that kind of challenge comes for the sake of truth, for the sake of justice, for the sake of heaven, and yes, for the sake of peace, it's not rebellion, it's Torah. Shabbat Shalom.